Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel DevOps District. I am Shreya Bhatt from MIT Academy of Engineering and my guide is Dr. Sheetal Kumar Jain sir. In the previous video of Infrastructure with Ansible, we have learned how Ansible works, its core concepts, and some practical examples of how it can be used in real world scenarios. In today's video, we are diving into the world of automation with Ansible playbooks. If you're looking to streamline your IT operations and make configuration management easier, you're in the right space. Stick around as we break down Ansible playbooks step by step. So, let's get started. So, what exactly is an Ansible playbook? Think of it as a recipe for automation. Just like a cookbook guides you to prepare a dish, an Ansible playbook tells Ansible what tasks to execute on your servers. The best part? It uses YAML. YAML is a human readable data serialization language that is often used for writing configuration files. YAML is easy to read and write, making automation accessible even for beginners. Ansible Playbook follow a structured format, and understanding these key components is crucial. Let's go over them one by one. The first is name. This is a descriptive title for your playbook. It helps you understand it helps you and others understand what the playbook does. The second are the hosts. This defines which servers or group of servers the playbook will target. Third are the tasks. This is where the magic happens. Each task tells Ansible what actions to perform. Now, let's see why Ansible playbooks are so powerful. Here are some key reasons why they are a game changer in IT automation. First is idempotency. Run your playbook multiple times and Ansible ensures the system reaches the desired state without unnecessary changes. Second is reusability. Write once, use forever. Your playbooks can be reused across multiple projects. Third is version control. Store your playbooks in Git to track changes and collaborate with teams. Fourth is configuration management. Manage infrastructure as code, ensuring consistency across environments. Now that we know why playbooks are awesome, let's learn how to execute them. Executing and managing playbooks. Now that we know that Ansible playbooks are awesome, let's talk about how to actually run them. It's super simple. Just use the command ansible-playbook and boom, automation kicks in. You can specify an inventory file to tell Ansible exactly which machines to target. And here's a pro tip: before running a playbook, always check for syntax errors and try check mode to do a dry run. This way, you can see what changes will happen without actually applying them. Trust me, it's a lifesaver when working on production servers. Now, let's make some Ansible playbooks and see for ourselves how they actually work. So, as you know, in the previous video, we created a master slave architecture where our Ansible master acted as the master node and the rest four nodes associated with it acted as the slaves. So, we'll be using the same architecture setup for this video to create our Ansible playbooks. So, first of all, let's check if our slave nodes are working. For that, we'll be using the ping command, that is Ansible all dash m ping dash m. M is a module, ping is a module, that's why dash m. Then you have to give the path of your inventory file, therefore dash I. And then the path of the inventory file, which is slash home slash ubuntu slash ansible and then slash hosts, after which you have to give your private key file, private dash key equals to tilde operator slash dot ssh then the key file's name, and hit enter. So you can see all our slave nodes are working completely fine and are healthy. So let's head towards the playbook creation. So what we have to do here is we'll be creating a directory in which we'll be saving our Ansible playbooks. For that we'll be using the cd change directory command. So for storing our playbooks, we'll create a new directory. For that we'll use the command mkdir make directory playbooks and hit enter. So with the vim, we'll start creating our first playbook. Create underscore file dot yaml. So what our first playbook will do is create an individual file on our slave nodes. That is, we will get four files on one on each node respectively. So let's write our first playbook. For that, you have to a YAML file always starts with three dash on the top. Then give press enter. The first thing we'll do is we'll give the name for our playbook. So dash space name colon. Then what? Why we are creating this playbook? Because this playbook will create a file onto each of our slave nodes. So write the purpose here. This playbook will create a file. Hit enter. The next thing will be giving the host what all servers or groups will be affected by our playbook when we'll execute the playbook. So for now we want all our slave nodes to be affected. Therefore we'll giving the host as all. The third thing which we'll be giving is become true. Why become true? Because when the changes will be executed, we want it to be done as a root user. That is why become true. The next thing we'll be giving is the tasks that the playbook will perform. Then we have to give the name for a task, that is create a file. Create a file. Now we have to give the path where our file is supposed to be created. So file colon slash home slash ubuntu and then the name of our file. So I'm giving DevOps txt. You can give any name of your liking. And then you have to give state. So what is state? The state is how the file will be created in Ubuntu. So whenever you create a file in Ubuntu, you use the command touch to create a file. Therefore we are giving touch state as touch. And that is it. This is a first configuration file. So for saving this file you have to click on escape, then type in colon wq and hit enter. So as we've written our playbook successfully, we'll try and run it now. For that, as I told you in the presentation before, that we use the command ansible dash playbook. So ansible playbook. Then you have to giving the name of our playbook. Create underscore file dot its extension, that is YAML. Then you have to give in the path of our inventory file, which is home ubuntu ansible slash hosts. After that, for the security purpose, we are giving the private key file. Private dash key equals to tilde operator slash dot ssh slash the name of our key file, which is ansible underscore key. and hit enter. Okay. So, as our playbook executed successfully, let's check whether our devops.txt file has been created onto all our servers. So you can see here change is equals to 1, change is equals to 1. This is the file has been created onto all our servers. So for checking, we'll connect to each of our server. Connect. So this is our first slave node. Type here pwd present working directory and then list all the files. So see, you can see the devops.txt file has been created. Let's check on slave 3. You can check on all the slave nodes. For now, I'm doing only 2. And ls. You can see the devops.txt file has been created successfully. So our first playbook task has been completed without any errors. Now let's head towards the second playbook. So here what we'll be doing is we'll create a user onto our slave nodes. We have to follow the same procedure that we did for our first playbook. So the first thing that we did is we created a file using the Vim editor. So this file will be naming create underscore user dot yaml and enter. So here first three dash on the top, then enter. Then we have to give the name, that is what the purpose is for the playbook. This playbook will create a user. Playbook will create a user. Hit enter. Then you have to give the host that will be affected. That is, we want all the hosts to be affected. The third thing will be become true. Then you have to give the tasks that we want to perform. What is the task here? We have to create a user. Dash name colon create a user. So you can give in any username. Now here I'll be giving my username for now. You can give your username as well. So the last thing that you will enter into your playbook, that will be the username. So you will give your name is equals to Shreya. You can give your name as well. No issues with that. Now save the playbook. Escape colon WQ. Enter. So let's clear this screen once and let's run a playbook, which is create underscore user dot yaml. Use the same command to run, only change the name of your file. As you can see, our playbook has been run successfully. Change is equals to 1. Changes have been made. So now how to check if our changes have been made? We'll verify it, okay, using our servers. That is a slave nodes. So for that, go on to your slave nodes. I've already connected it. You can use the same one or you can connect the rest of the two and then check. So here what you will do is type in cat space slash etc slash PASSWD. What this will do is it will give you the list of the users that are there on this present working server. So you can see then our server has been, sorry, our user has been added, Shreya Bhatt. Let's check it on the second one. Cat space slash etc slash PASSWD. Enter. Here also our user has been added. So what does this mean? That our second playbook has been successfully created and executed. Now let's head towards our third playbook. Now what this third playbook will be doing, we'll install Docker onto all our slave nodes using this playbook. So that we don't have to do it individually, you can automate the installation of Docker. So for that, let's write a playbook now. Use the command vim install underscore docker dot yaml and hit enter. So I've already created this playbook. I'll make you understand what is the aspect of every element mentioned in the playbook. Okay. So, first thing is the name, what the playbook will be doing. Okay. The second is host all, what all servers or slave nodes associated with it will be affected. So we want all we want the installation on all of our slave nodes. Therefore, we have mentioned host all. Then become true is that it will be doing it using the super user. The task that we have defined three tasks into it. The first is it will be adding the apt key. Apt is a module that is used to add or remove any commands from your server. So we'll be downloading the apt key present on this URL on the and the state will be present. The next thing that we'll be downloading is the Docker repository, which is stored at this URL and in our present state. Okay. The next thing that we'll be doing is the installation of Docker. So let's fix our indentation issues here. Please make sure that your indentation is proper. And now we'll save our playbook. Now let's try and run this playbook using the command ansible dash playbook space the name of our playbook install underscore docker dot yaml, then the path of our inventory file slash home slash ubuntu. So I've typed in the command for our Ansible playbook install Docker file and hit enter. As you can see, the installation has been completed successfully. Now let's check whether the Docker has been installed onto our server nodes. So we'll connect to each of the node and check. Let's type Docker here. And you can see our Docker has been installed as we have got all the commands regarding Docker. Let's check on other slave nodes too. And you can see here also our Docker has been installed successfully. So check for all the nodes if it is installed. If yes, our goal for today's video has been successfully achieved. So that's it for today, guys. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment to my video. Also, do not miss any updates, so please do ring the bell icon. Drop a comment below if you like the video. Thank you for watching my video. Take care and have a great day ahead.